Hello everyone, welcome to Options with Doug, streaming live daily on Bookmap Discord and the Bookmap YouTube channel at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Before I get started, I need to go through the disclosures. General disclosure, all Bookmap Ltd materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure. Trading futures, equities, and options involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Here's my contact information. The best way to get in touch with me is through Discord. My name on Discord is Doug P. Also in Bookmap Discord, there's an Options-Doug chat channel. That's a great place to post questions, comments, and content about the topics of the channel and my presentation. And then finally, I'm on X, formerly known as Twitter. My name there is @DougPless. And for those of you watching on YouTube, if you do have questions after the webinar, the best place to post those questions is this Options-Doug chat channel in Discord. The focus of my presentation today and the focus of the Options-Doug chat channel is options order flow, the impact of options markets on stocks and futures, and the influence of market maker hedging flow on price action. I have a two-step process for trading, and the first is planning, and I use positional analysis. I look at how traders and market makers are positioned in the options market and how those positions change from day to day to develop a thesis regarding the expected trading range and volatility for the day, as well as a directional bias. And the second step in my process is execution. And I'll look at real-time order flow in Bookmap and real-time market maker hedging flow in Spotgamma Hero to confirm my thesis, and for setups for entries and exits. And when I talk about setups today, I will be talking about setups in an underlying asset, and those setups can be taken with futures, shares of stock, or options. For example, if you're trading the S&P 500, the setups that I'm talking about can be taken with ES futures, SPY shares, SPY options, or SPX options. Questions and comments are welcome, and I will be watching both the Options-Doug chat channel in Discord as well as the chat and YouTube for your questions and comments. So please feel free to post, and I'll do my best to answer your questions. All right, my agenda for today, what I want to cover is news items, economic data, events, and earnings. Then I'll go through my positional analysis. Then I'll review setups from this morning, and then I'll talk about the live market. And when I get to the live market, if anyone has any questions or stocks they want me to take a look at, please let me know, and I'll be glad to do that. All right, news items. Of course, the big news item was the event yesterday, the FOMC announcement and meeting. And of course, the fireworks began just after my webinar yesterday ended. So the ABC pattern, down, up, and then down. The C was the move of the day. Let's take a look at that. So here's yesterday. My webinar ended at 2:30, and it looked like the S&P 500 was moving back up and then found resistance in this cluster of levels here. This is from yesterday, between the 4450 SPX 4450 volatility trigger and the 4451 zero gamma level just above that, and then the ES 4500 level acted as resistance, and traders continued to buy SPX SPY puts, and the S&P 500 made it all the way down to the SPX 4400 put wall, and the I believe the SPX closed the day yesterday right around 4402. So essentially at the put wall. And we'll take a look at the charts in just a minute and see that the SPX traded well down below that level today. All right, so that is the, I don't think there is any high impact news coming out for the rest of the week. So of course, again, the FOMC meeting, that was the event of the week, and that triggered a large move down. All right, let's take a look at the, let's start with the positional analysis now. So this is the S&P 500. Big move down today, and most of that occurred before the RTH open. So here's the 4400 level. And price has moved down pretty steadily from that level all the way down to the 4350 level. So before I go into this chart further, let's take a look at a larger time frame. I'm going to start with an SPX 30-day 1-hour chart. This is the August expiration, Friday of the August expiration. That was a slightly put dominated but very negative gamma expiration, and as those puts expired, market makers could buy back short futures. That led to a rally where market makers' gamma position shifted from negative to positive, then a consolidation. Then here's the expiration in September, the September 15th, large quarterly expiration, and that was more of a positive gamma call dominated expiration. And those calls lost value. Market makers could sell their hedges, sell their ES futures hedges. All right, so let's take a look at some levels now. First of all, the lower and upper weekly expected move, shown with the dashed purple lines. SPX trading well below the lower weekly expected move. That's from an options chain available in any trading platform that has options. It should be. And then here's the lower and upper daily expected move. That's shown with the dashed blue lines. SPX trading below the lower daily expected move as well. All right, let's take a look at the Spotgamma levels, shown by the dark red lines. And I'm going to point out the key daily levels. These are proprietary Spotgamma levels available to Spotgamma subscribers. First of all, here's the put wall. That's at 4400. That's the strike with the largest net negative gamma. That should and is expected to act as support. SPX is trading below that level. And in Spotgamma's view, if an index is trading below the put wall, Spotgamma views that as oversold, unless the levels continue to shift lower. So yesterday, the put wall was at 4400. It did not shift lower. So it's been at 4400 since the 18th. All right, so that 4400 level has held. SPX trading below that level. In Spotgamma's opinion, SPX is oversold. All right, the 4400 level is also the absolute gamma strike. That's the strike with the largest absolute negative and positive gamma. So that's the level with the highest concentration of gamma. Then the next level up is the 4460 volatility trigger. That is Spotgamma's proprietary gamma flip level. Below that level, market makers' position on the gamma curve is negative. In a negative gamma environment, market makers have to trade with price to hedge their delta exposure, and that tends to enhance or increase volatility. And SPX is trading well below its volatility trigger, again at 4460. That level did move up slightly from 4450 yesterday. And then finally, the call wall is at 4600. That's the strike with the largest net positive gamma that can be expected to act as resistance. And that level did move up yesterday from 4500 to 4600. So it's well out of play and not really a consideration for today, considering SPX is trading below its put wall. All right, so those are the key daily levels. The put wall, volatility trigger, absolute gamma strike, and the call wall. All right, let's take a look at Bookmap. Go back to Bookmap now. So this is the ES futures in Bookmap. We saw that the big part of the move lower occurred yesterday, starting around just after 2:30, continued overnight. And we'll talk about setups in a few minutes. So now here is mostly the RTH session. So this level, the 4376, this is SPX 4376, somewhat acted as resistance. And just to point out, I have cloud notes here. These are my own cloud notes. I'm showing SPX levels, also SPY levels. There's the SPY 435 put wall. That strike did move lower yesterday from 440 to 435 today. So I'm showing SPX levels, SPY levels. There's the ES lower daily expected move. That did act as resistance. And then around the SPX 4350 level, acted as support. Let's just take a look at the SPX levels that are in play for today. So here's SPX in a 1-day, 1-minute chart, showing the lower daily expected move acting as resistance. And there's right at the open that 4376 level acting as resistance, and then 4350 around that level acting as support. So pretty narrow range during the cash session today for SPX. Those are the levels in play. Again, SPY, SPX levels. Note there's quite a difference in price between ES and SPX. And today I calculated that as 42.5, somewhere between 42 and 43. So I'm using 42.5. All right, we'll take a look at setups in a few minutes. So those are the levels in play for today. SPX, SPY, also the lower daily expected move for ES and SPX. Let's take a look at NASDAQ. All right, NASDAQ. Before I take a closer look at this chart, I want to take a look first of all at QQQ. Take a look at the levels in play for today. Also a pretty narrow range for QQQ today after the large move that began yesterday. Here's the put wall at 360. Right now QQQ trading above that level. That level did move up from yesterday. So unlike SPY, the put wall moved lower. With QQQ, the put wall moved higher, up to 360 from 350 yesterday. Also for QQQ, the volatility trigger moved higher. QQ at 374. So QQQ is trading well below the volatility trigger. And then also, strangely, the call wall moved up to 400. So well out of play for the QQQ call wall. And let's take a look at NDX. Again, a 1 day, 1 minute chart, just to isolate the NDX levels in play for today. So it looks like this combo L2 level at 14,790. Price has been oscillating up and down around that level. All right, let's go back to Bookmap now. So again, sharp move lower began 2:30 yesterday, and now consolidation for the NASDAQ as well as the S&P 500 today during the regular trading hours, regular trading session. All right, so again, I've got my cloud notes here showing QQQ levels. There's the 360 put wall, and then there's the NDX 790 level, the combo 2 level. All right, let's take a look now at gamma notional. This is market maker's position on the gamma curve at the beginning of the day. Quite negative. This is for SPX, SPY, NDX, and QQQ. All these numbers for SPX, SPY, and QQQ, quite negative. That's just over negative 1 billion for SPX, 2.347 billion for SPY, very negative, and also 773 negative for QQQ. Those numbers, as you would imagine, all shifted lower from yesterday. Again, very negative. And again, this is also at the beginning of the day. So let's take a look at the Vanna model now. And this will be a visual representation of what that means and the consequence of a negative gamma environment. So what this chart is showing is market maker's delta notional or delta exposure and how that changes with price. Delta notional shown on the vertical axis, price shown on the horizontal axis. There are two curves on this chart. The light gray curve shows how market maker's delta notional changes with changes in price only. And then the purple curve adds implied volatility to the equation. That's showing how market maker's delta notional changes with changes in price and implied volatility. All right, so what this chart is showing, again, is just how market maker's delta notional changes with changes in price and implied volatility. So we want to look at the purple curve. And this gives a sense of how market makers may react to changes in price and applied volatility. And this curve is pretty typical of a negative gamma environment. So let's just check on price. So first of all, SPX right now is trading around 43.61. The low of the day was around 43.50. So that's on this portion of the gamma curve here. So remember, market makers want to remain delta neutral. So if price decreases, their delta notional is increasing, and they have to sell futures to hedge their delta exposure. They will always want to remain delta neutral. Then on the other hand, this works both ways. So if price increases and implied volatility drops, market makers can buy back their short future hedges. And that's a put Vanna rally. So Vanna is the change in delta with the change in implied volatility. So as implied volatility drops, price increases, market makers can buy back their short futures. And Vanna is the change in delta, again, change in delta with the change in implied volatility. That's a second order Greek. So if implied volatility really starts to drop and price increases, then market makers can buy back their short futures, and that can fuel a rally higher. That's again a put Vanna rally. All right, let's take a look at SPY and SPX, SPY and QQQ. So we'll start with SPY. So for today, SPY, the low of the day was right around 433, right around there. SPY is currently trading just above that in a very narrow range, somewhere between 434 and 435. So again, if price really gets going higher, implied volatility drops, market makers can buy back their short futures hedges. So they're trading, market makers are hedging. So when traders buy and sell puts and calls in SPX and SPY, market makers hedge those positions with ES futures. And then finally QQQ. Low of the day around 359 right here. QQQ currently trading just above that at 360. So again, if price gets going higher, market makers delta notional will start to decrease, and they can buy back their short future hedges. So for QQQ, they're hedging those options positions with NQ futures. All right, so again, that just gives us a sense of how market makers may hedge with changes in price and applied volatility. All right, let's take a look at some setups now. I'm going to start with the S&P 500. This is the hero signal, hedging impact real-time options. This is from Spotgamma, available to Spotgamma subscribers. What this chart is showing is price for SPX and the hero signal, showing options trades and market maker hedging activity for a combined signal for SPX, SPY, XSP, and ES futures. So if you trade any form of the S&P 500, this is the signal that you want to take a look at. All right, let's zoom in on this chart. We'll take a look at a couple setups from this morning. And I'm going to zoom in again just for setup review. So what I'm showing the first hour of trade after the cash open. What this chart is showing is that traders were taking negative delta positions. That's shown by the falling purple line. Up until about 10 o'clock, they started taking positive delta positions. And let's just take a closer look and see what they were doing. So first of all, I'm going to zoom in on the initial move lower. So up until about 10 o'clock, traders were buying puts and slightly buying calls, but the put buyers were more aggressive, and price was responding to the put buyers, as well as, let's go take a look at a book map. We'll zoom in here on the first hour. We'll take the hour and a half. So initially, right at the cash open, we know that traders were buying puts. When traders buy puts, market makers sell the puts, and they have to sell futures to hedge their delta exposure. We can also see aggressive sellers coming in, shown by the magenta volume dots. Those volume dots are shown buy minus sell market orders. Magenta dot indicates there are more sellers than buyers. And aggressive sellers were moving price down, as well as traders buying puts. That's shown by the falling cumulative volume delta line. And also, the move down was fueled by sell stop orders, shown by the falling yellow line. So put buyers, aggressive sellers, and also somewhat the sell stop orders supported the move down from around that 436 level, 43.76 level, down to SPY 434 right here. All right, let's take a look at, go back to Hero now. So we're going to take a look and see what happened around 10 o'clock. Let's go back to Hero. I'm going to scroll over to the left here. Yeah, let's go back. All right, so here we go. All right, so we know from the open, traders were buying puts. Right around 10 o'clock, they took their foot off the gas. The put line levels off, and they shifted. They started buying calls. That's shown by the rising orange line. The orange line shows call transactions. The blue line is showing put transactions, and the lines are shown in terms of delta. So rising line indicates positive delta, falling line indicates negative delta. So around 10 o'clock, traders, put buyers took their foot off the gas. They stopped buying puts and they started buying calls, and price responded higher. All right, let's go back to Bookmap. So we can see at this time, again, right around the SPY 434 level, as well as ES 4400. We know that traders stopped buying puts, started buying calls. Aggressive buyers started to come in. You can see all the green volume dots here indicating more buyers than sellers. Also shown by the rising cumulative volume delta line. Also note that large traders were buying weakness. That's shown with iceberg orders. That's shown by this rising, slightly rising light blue line. So CVD rising, aggressive buyers, large traders buying with iceberg orders they use to hide their size. And again, traders stopped buying puts, started buying calls, and price moves higher, back up to the lower daily expected move, and then aggressive sellers started coming in again. Let's go back to Hero. All right, so pretty easy read here. that move higher. Then after that, not so much really. We'll just zoom out all the way. All right, so for today, for the entire day, traders continue to buy calls. They're also buying puts. Looks like the call buyers are more aggressive, but the put buyers are really driving price along with aggressive sellers. All right, let's take a look at one other thing I have in my notes here, 1020. All right, so 1020, we're taking a look at this reversal lower now. So we know helping to drive the move higher. Actually, traders started aggressively buying calls right around 10 o'clock up till 10:20. That activity leveled off, and then price reversed lower. So they stopped buying calls, resumed buying puts. Let's go take a look at Bookmap. And then there's the reversal lower that I just talked about. So carefully watching hero, hedging flow, and order flow led to a short and a long, then a short again. All right, so those are the setups that I saw this morning in the S&P 500. All right, let's take a look at NASDAQ. Right, NASDAQ was not as an easy a read as the S&P 500. So this is a combined signal for NDX and QQQ. Going to zoom in. So I'm going to focus on this. This was really the only clear setup here. Right around 1040, traders started aggressively taking negative delta positions. And let's see what they were doing. So initially from the open they were buying calls. That activity leveled off. They were selling puts. That leveled off. They started buying puts again. So the call buyers took their foot off the gas and they shifted to put buyers. Again, call buyers took their foot off the gas, started buying puts. Right around 1040, price reverses lower. And that's right around here. Oops, wrong tool. So price jumped up above VWAP in the lower daily expected move and then move lower. As that, again, traders stopped buying calls, started buying puts. All right, let's take a look at some stocks. And hello, Holy Trinity. Glad you're here. Welcome. We'll take a look at the live market in a few minutes and see what's going on. I do want to highlight a few stocks. And Solidari, I'll take a look at Meta also. I want to start with Microsoft. So right around here, Microsoft made an announcement this morning, something about the AI Copilot being incorporated in Windows 11. So AI news drives Microsoft higher up to this 325 level, which just so happens to be the hedge wall and the key gamma strike. So price reverses lower at that level. Let's see what options traders were doing and how they reacted to that. So let's go to Microsoft. Zoom in on this chart. So here's the 325 level, key gamma strike, hedge wall. There's the sharp move higher after the news. I can't seem to get the right tool. All right, here we go. Sharp move higher after the news, and then almost immediately options traders start taking negative delta positions. They were fading that move higher at the 325 level. All right, so that's Microsoft. Let's go back to Bookmap. And the next. So now it looks like Microsoft buyers are trying to move price back up to the 325 level today. Let's take a look at NVIDIA. All right, 420 is actually the put wall. And that acted as resistance today. So let's go see what options traders were doing at the 420 put wall. So let's go to NVIDIA now. Going to zoom in on this chart. So here's the 420 put wall. And as price hit that level, traders started taking negative delta positions. Let's see what they were doing. They were buying puts. So initially, traders were selling puts and buying calls. Call buyers took their foot off the gas, then started selling, and the put sellers turned into put buyers, and price moved lower. Again, blue line showing puts, orange line showing calls. Let's go back to Bookmap. We can zoom in on this just a little bit. All right, no kung fu for you, says stream not working Is anybody else having a problem? I can see the stream is working on YouTube. I have that on another computer, so I can see that it is working. Also, Discord is indicating to me that my stream is still running. Is anyone else having a problem? All right, Uncle says not working on Discord. Has it been not working on Discord the whole time? All right, so Max says stream working here in YouTube, thanks. Holy Trinity looks good on his end. Thank you. All right, so I see an image with the kind of a stamp, small image of what's showing on Discord. It looks okay to me. So if you're having a problem on Discord, just go to YouTube. So sorry about that. I don't know if there's anything that I can do. All right, so we were looking at NVIDIA. Sorry about that. Let me get reoriented to NVIDIA here. All right, so 420, the put wall acted as resistance. Let's go back and take a look at Hero. As call buyers turned into call sellers and put sellers turned into call buyers. All right, so that's NVIDIA. The last setup I want to take a look at stock is Tesla. So Tesla, there was a divergence long setup right around 955. This is what I'm looking at right here. Traders started taking positive delta positions. Price responded higher. That's right around the put wall, the 255 put wall. And in the case of Tesla, the put wall did its job and acted as support. Let's take a look at Bookmap. So price jumped down or moved down below, a little bit below the put wall, the 255 put wall, but it did act as support. And price moved higher as options traders took positive delta positions. And note the very bearish order flow here, all the magenta volume dots. We can also take a look at cumulative volume delta. Should be sloping straight down. To me, this indicates that options traders are really driving price today. Back and take a look at Hero. All right, so net for the day so far, actually now the call buyers have shifted to call sellers. All right, so both numbers are negative, so traders buying puts and selling calls. All right, let me check for questions. HL Aquarius asks, Bookmap on Thinkorswim is same quality. I assume you mean versus the standalone Bookmap version of Bookmap that I'm looking at. And if so, if that's your question, the answer is no. So the Thinkorswim version of Bookmap is an older version that has limited features. I think it's an older version of Bookmap Global, so you can't have any add-ons in the Thinkorswim version of Bookmap, like this MBO bundle, which is showing stops and icebergs. That's not available in the Thinkorswim version of Bookmap. Also, you can't trade from the chart. All right. The advantage is it's inexpensive. A good way to get an introduction to Bookmap. I think it's about $40 a month. That includes data. So that includes data from DXFeed, which is a very good high quality data package, full depth of market. All right, Truman asks, what news source do I use? I guess regarding Microsoft. So here's what I did. I saw that, first of all, I saw the news, the move on Microsoft before the news. I wasn't specifically watching for this. But then I went to my watch list in Thinkorswim and just clicked. Let's just click that right there. And now it's hold on. All right, there it is. All right, so this, again, I saw the move well before the news came out. So this is showing at 10:38. All right, Truman, I hope that helps. I did not see the news before then. All right, let's take a look at the live market now. Well, I think that there are plenty of news feeds that you could, Truman, there are plenty of news feeds that you can buy. If you trade the news, or large traders have algorithms that will read the news and trade based on, before any human can make the trade. All right, so let's take a look at the live market now. Oh, slow to start, I wanted to take a look at Meta. Let's take a look at that. All right, so nice rally in Meta today. Let's see what options traders are doing. So let's go to Hero for Meta. All right, Meta looks like it made a double bottom here as traders started taking positive delta positions. Price moved higher to the 300 level, which is the hedge wall and key gamma strike. So it looks like at that 300 level, options traders have taken their foot off the gas. Note the hero line levels off, as well as price. Let's go to Bookmap, Meta. So here's the double bottom as traders were taking positive delta positions. Price reaches that 300 level. And as options traders have taken their foot off the gas, looks like price is moving a little bit lower. And let's just zoom in on this just a little bit. What I'm looking at is the liquidity in the order book. This is pretty typical of stocks, that traders will come in at the cash open, put their limit orders. In this case, this is a history of the limit sell orders for Meta, and they place them typically on the round number lines. And the interesting thing here is they pulled those orders right here, right before price reached up to the 300 level. Looks like they came back in. Let's go back and see what options traders are doing. All right, so today they are net buying calls, also selling puts. Call buyers more aggressive. Let's go back. So what this is really indicating is that call buyers have taken their foot off the gas. They are selling puts, but they've stopped buying calls. And Slodazari asked, when you trade the news, is it rule-based, mechanical, or is it more discretionary approach? Well, really, I don't trade the news. I'm just not fast enough. I mean, you saw that, I saw that move of Microsoft after it happened, and I just did some research after to find out what caused the move. So I did not trade Microsoft today, but I was pointing that out. So Truman says he saw the move first, got in on it by luck. Yeah, I did not see that. I typically, in this negative gamma environment, I'm typically looking for larger moves in the S&P 500 and NASDAQ, and kind of focus my quality. My focus is on the index, in a, not always, but that's my first focus. And then the stocks that I normally trade, like Nvidia, Tesla. All right, so again, Slodazari, I'm just not fast enough to trade the news, and I don't have even if I had a very expensive news feed, I'm still not fast enough to compete with algos. So I'm I am very quantitative though in my trading. I'm looking at the same things. I mean, I talk about the same things every day. My planning, and then what I'm looking at for trading, looking at order flow and hedging flow. All right, let's take a look. Let's go back to the S&P 500. Let's zoom in on this. So it looks like traders, if we look at the overall trend for Hero, trending up till right around 130, 140. Then they've started taking negative delta positions again. Let's just see what they're doing. So they have, looks like the call buyers have slowed down a little bit, and they continue to buy puts. Now prices moving lower. Let's take a look at Bookmap. Go back to Bookmap. All right, Sorry says ES about to hit a new low. Yeah, it's back to the 43.50 level. That level was noted as support in the Spotgamma AM Founders Note. All right, so it looks like the large traders that have been buying with iceberg orders really shut it down, stop buying with iceberg orders. Large orders here kind of obscured by that red dot, which is sell stop orders, and then that has leveled off. I'm talking about the light blue line, and then also cumulative volume delta has shifted back negative. All right, so back down to the 43.50 level. Let's take a look at NASDAQ. All right, so NASDAQ reversed lower, just below the lower daily expected move and the NQ 15,000 level and the QQQ 361 level. Let's see what options traders are doing. And while we're here on S&P 500, let's see what the 0 DTE traders are doing. So that's interesting. It looks like the 0 DTE traders, shown by the green line here, are driving quite a bit of the options flow today. Almost all of that. You see there's just strong correlation between the green line, which is showing 0 DTE trades, options that expire today, versus all expirations, shown with a purple line, almost a direct correlation, indicating that a very strong component of the options trades today are options that expire at the end of the day. All right, let's take a look at NASDAQ now. And since about 10:45, this hero signal has been steadily trending down. and started to move more sharply lower right around 130. And price responded lower. So Hero leveled off, moved up a little bit, then traders started taking negative delta positions again, and now price is moving lower. Let's go take a look at Bookmap again. All right, in the case of NASDAQ, large traders have been selling all day with iceberg orders shown by the falling light blue line. Also, since about just after 11 o'clock, sell stop orders helping to fuel the move lower. Then cumulative volume delta really leveled off, and now iceberg orders, sell stop orders, and options traders all driving NASDAQ lower. All right, my time is up. I want to thank everyone for watching. Thank you very much for your questions and comments, and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks again. Bye.